Alrighty. Thank you, early birds, for showing up here before the ding, before the bell. I appreciate that, y'all. And thanks everyone here for joining the stream. I'll leave my introductions for a couple minutes and just to let some people roll in here. It's always great seeing from you guys. Going past this here too. Almost forgot this was now due to my DDST desync. Well, what?
Europe was daylight savings a week earlier than us.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So for 2 weeks a year, everything's out of sync. And then next week we'll be back on normal time.
Okay. Yeah, it's rough.
No, is it today? Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. Yeah, I am always told I'm an hour late or an hour early to something. That's how I know that daylight savings time happened.
Yeah, I never really notice it either because like everything is online and I just look at the clock.
Exactly. Yeah. Like all my stuff automatically changes time-wise, so it's not a big deal until it is. I was definitely one of those like kids that would scorn George Bush for liking daylight savings time when I was a teenager. Just because he was like a big proponent of it for some reason. 'Tis great.
There's been a bill of it for years now, and it keeps getting stalled out.
Yeah. It's like we want to phase it out, but it's been grandfathered into everything now.
It has bipartisan support. It's not a controversial topic among anyone, as far as I'm aware.
Right, and we don't live in a farmer society that benefits from that anymore. So, yeah, it's all a bit silly now. I don't know really why we keep doing it. Hey, Reveille. It's good to see you. Celeste is here too. Ooh. Yeah, we got some fun people here today. So I'll since we got some folks in here, I'll get some introductions going. Hi, my name is Victor Gnarly. I'm a former visual effects artist for Cartoon Network. I worked on shows like Robot Chicken, Moral Oral, and a bunch of other stop motion shows from the early 2000, the early tween. What do you call that? I don't even know what the early aughts, I guess is what they're calling it. Yeah. I worked mostly for them during the early aughts, and and then afterward I was a creative consultant for a couple years. And then I started doing this because I really wanted to make comics again. And Midjourney was like, it's just like this amazing opportunity to make things in such a unique and fast way than I've ever interacted with making stuff before. And I've just been addicted to Midjourney ever since then. There's a whole length of time between that. It's about 1.5 years now that I've been doing stuff here, making stuff with you guys. And it's been a whole ton of fun. I'm joined here with Kinky and Ancient Chaos. They are part of Midjourney, and I've been amazing friends, and really putting everything together for me here has just been such a pleasure because of these two people. So thank you guys for joining. Just to kind of explain how things work here. So inside of Discord, you're going to see that there is VC Text and VC Create. VC Create is where we're going to be prompting things together. It is super fun, and I highly encourage remixing and editing other people's results. We'll be hopping in between the main website and the Discord. So whenever we want to use some new tools, I'll just hop over like this to my account on Midjourney. But for the most part, I'm going to do my best to try to keep everything inside of VC Create so that you guys can hop in and make stuff with us. But if you hop over to VC Text just above that, you'll be able to chat with us today and say, hey, and these videos end up on YouTube eventually. I'm a little behind schedule with uploading those, but you're welcome to chat with me and say, hey, make a request, do anything like that. And we'll just be hanging out here for a couple hours and making stuff together. If you have anything that you like are particularly interested in, like a project or anything like that, feel free to talk about it inside of VC Text. We also have a server called Gnarly Studios where we focus on character design and storytelling. So when it comes to the characters that we're going to be featuring here today, or any of the sort of products of what we make, I guess, that will be featured on the server there. So if you want to be able to catch up with anything that we do, or you just want to chat with the community of folks who are awesome, who have joined us, you can just go to VC Text and click that link that Kinky just posted there and join on up. And that will bring you to show servers, Gnarly Studios. And Gnarly Studios is great because it lets us be able to not only chat with each other and make it with a specific goal, but more importantly, it allows you to submit characters to the character portal, which is where people submit everything from heroes to villains to minor B characters. It doesn't really matter. If you just have a character that you like, that you want to see, people tell stories with that character, then you submit it to the character portal. Because if you submit it, that means you get a ding every time someone adds to it. So every time there is like a new update, you'll be able to get a not just a ding, but also like an updated story. Basically, like we're trying to tell many stories in real time doing this. So, like for example, let's take Akari here for my troll for you. Akari has been contributed a ton of times and has ended up in multiple of our worlds that we've generated, including the Western world, which you're seeing here. And it started off as a katana wielding character that entered our fantasy world and has now gone over to the Western world. So we're kind of the West world of Midjourney. Okay, we just kind of do whatever we want, but we kind of try to keep inside of each other's stories and basically start doing crossovers. Like that's the most exciting part about this, is whenever two of these characters converge with each other and we start telling stories together. So in fact, I think I'm going to start with Lombard here to kind of show you guys how this stuff works. Okay, so Lombard here was posted by Drolanak, who is in the audience here today. And Drolanak is basically like he's one of my older members. We made a couple fun things together already. But what we can do is we can take his image that he's provided here as like the character. Original prompt was just dragon and it made him by accident. Yeah, that's how it goes. Sometimes you just find people, you know what I mean? Like you find characters that you attach to. I mean, Victor was like that. He started off as a doodle, like a sketch that I had made like time and time again that I then merged with a real photo of myself. So I was like, here's my little like, headcanon like character, my little like buddy. And then here's a picture of me as a teenager, and I had it merged together and it made like an anime version of it. And it was really, really cool, but it ended up being Victor in a way. And there's more to it than that, but that's essentially how this started. So trying to get you guys to all replicate this and, maybe even like get VTubers running and stuff. We can do all that here today if we wanted to. So I'm going to start with Drolanak here. And they just use this image as a character reference. So, and we could always take another one of these images or use multiple of them as the character reference, but we're going to take this one here and I'm going to hop us over to VC Create here real quick. I'm just going to reopen that actually. It'll be easier if I keep a second tab of it open. Copy link. Boop. Okay. So we've been using character referencing a ton. It's Halloween all year for me. Yes. Valmir. That's Valmir. I love knowing you guys based on the names of your characters and stuff. It's really fun. You can see some folks already prompting, like Ancient is here with Victor. All these are available on the character portal. But let's start with Drolanak's character here. So I'm going to do --cref and then paste the link to his character art and then Niji 6 in order to get more of an anime data set. And then I'll hop back into the chat here in a minute after we get some stuff started with this one. So we can there's a lot of information that comes from the character reference. It's an incredibly powerful parameter. So if I just write, drinking coffee, right? There's a good chance that we're just going to get everything we need to match the character art based on the direction that is inside of the prompt. We could include a style reference. We could force it with new parameters that like kind of mix things up, like chaos or even like okay. So here we're able to see that we have most of the character. Each doesn't have the wings or anything like that. It's looking at probably mostly the environment here as well as the character. So like we need to put some emphasis on the wings here. So let's go ahead and grab the other images. Okay, we have this one here. And then we're just going to add that to the links that are after --cref. That's the parameter that we're using today, or at least using at the moment. So let's go ahead and grab these 3 links and we'll post them. And what happens when you do multi-links inside of your character reference, what it's actually doing is it's blending those 3 images, and then whatever is the result of that blend is the actual character reference. So if you're noticing a lot of variations in your character art, like you're not really getting good consistency, and you're using multiple links, it's probably because if you try to blend those 3 images together, you get wildly different results. That's an easy way to kind of get rid of that variable. We're either going to build an entire character sheet and save it as one link, or we are going to generally try to find the images that are giving us issues, that are making things less reliable or consistent. So let's see what we got going on here. So we're still rendering this next result for me. Let me go ahead and copy this and run it one more time here, because we might be doing some crossover stuff today based on the initial feedback of what I'm seeing here. Oh, there might be a bug. Might be dealing with a Discord bug at the moment. We'll see what's going on, because everything is frozen for me. Can you all still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, things are coming back now. All right, awesome. Yeah, it's not low. Okay, yes. All right, sweet. Everyone's stuff is now shooting out. So you can see that, but I added those 3 links. We suddenly got the dragon wings back on the character without ever referencing that this character is a dragon. That was just because we included more reference images that put attention onto those wings. So at this point, if we wanted to tell a specific story or anything like that, we could just follow along with whatever the submitter has given. And Drolanak just kind of gave some images here, so we could really do whatever with this character here. So if you have any suggestions, Drolanak, feel free to post that inside of VC text, and we'll be messing around with some character lore for you. But for the time being, I'm going to try to get let's try to get like Victor, Valmir, or Vilmir. I don't know if it's Val or Vil. He's a villain. That's all I have for now. Okay, all right. So we know he's a villain. All right. So we got Vilmir, Victor, and Drolanek's character here, Lombard. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see. Let's try to do something fun here. Storybooks for kids can easily be illustrated this way as well. Yes. Oh yeah. You can make so much fun stuff with as soon as we introduce style referencing, where you can start to control the actual artistic output of this. Totally night and day difference here. So we're seeing here illustration of him saying "much to celebrate" in a word balloon from Reveille here. Yeah, there you go. So the thing is that when you increase the stylized to 1,000, okay, it'll make some decisions that make it a little sterile sometimes, including like character art stuff. So it may feel like a cheat code when you use style, like when you just max out the stylize function, but know that that does actually do some, like, it does take away a little bit of your creative control by doing that. And I can show you an example here. So instead of stylize 1,000 here, right? I'll run this as is just to kind of show you what I mean. But let's go ahead and start up with a premise. Okay. And so if it's, let's just say that it's like, wow, like what is the name of Dr. Doom's, place? Like his lair. What is the name of it? Just the League of Villains having a meeting, and we'll just go with that, see what it gives us. I'll go with style raw as well, because we haven't picked a style yet. We could also work off my personalization code, but what I've basically learned is that by doing that, by working off this the personalization codes, that these streams diverge into a million directions because everyone has their own code. So that means like everyone starts leaning into whatever is the code that like gets I mean, I don't know if that's how we found the Western style that we were using for a while, but it was definitely one of those where I realized as soon as that feature was enabled, it was a lot harder to kind of corral you guys when it came to that. But I want to show this here. Latveria is Dr. Doom's country. Okay. I'm sure we can use that somewhere. But all right. So here's what I really like about prompting, with like prompts that are indicative of a group of people, or otherwise include multiple people. You can even say like a comic book depicting 2 people is enough to make this work. But whenever you're using character referencing and you have multiple people in the frame, what's going to happen is the results are almost always the same character done 3 times over. Okay. So if we wanted to basically like have options to explore basically be as creative as we can be with this, I highly recommend starting off with a single CREF of with a character, then pick whichever was the 3 or 4 results of characters inside of that prompt, to basically become that character. And then you can start injecting the other characters into the image here. So for example, I think this one works pretty well. We probably want to change the pose because he doesn't really look like he's sitting in the chair. He looks like he's like power squatting into it or something. Like it's like he's like holding himself up with his elbows here. So we're going to change the body form here, but I do like this image here because I feel like I can easily throw in Vilmir and Victor into this one here, and we'll just have Joel and his character hanging out in the back there. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to have you guys continue to prompt inside of VC Create, keep making things. I'll be sure to pop back in here. Whoever this little witch girl is, really smart. I love it, by the way. We all have style. That's I'm up-wrestling that one. I love the derangement of this image, by the way. It's great. Definitely. Also, by the way, I should have said it earlier. Happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful Halloween. I did. I had a great time. Plenty of kids came by. I threw candy at children. Can't complain. So what I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to create a crossover. I'm going to try to create a 3-way crossover with this image here. So we can do that pretty easily. We're going to go back to the character portal here, and I'm going to search for our next character, which I believe will be Vilmir. And the easiest way to do that is to go all the way to the top and just search for the character. You can also just scroll all the way through. There's a lot of characters, guys. So you guys have been real busy, but I just searched for them. So I'm going to do Vilmir here. And they've provided the links up at the top here. And they've also provided a recommended prompt with it, a demon wearing a white t-shirt. So I will copy that. And then I am going, in fact, I should include an EG6 as well. Boop. And then I will basically just start in-painting the character into here. If there are particular angles that make more sense, for example, like a back of the head, it is incredibly useful to have those ahead of time. Okay. Because the 3 images that we have here are these 3. Okay. So we have 1, 2, and then 3. And you notice that out of this one's the character sheet here. In order to get like true control out of this, like we can use all these images, but in fact, I should just use the one on the far right here. That one is everything that Midjourney really needs to know in order to recreate the character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one link just for now. And we will use that as an in-paint. So we're going to hit vary region and then just start selecting wherever we want Vilmir to show up here. So we're going to kind of come into here. And the thing is that the real trick is to doing these kind of crossovers is that you only want to select the characters compartmentally. Like we don't want to select every part of this character here. We want to just select one of the body part or a piece of attire and then get the rest of it the next time around, because you need to give Midjourney something to understand the proportions of everything in the world. So at least for this, I'm only going to do his jacket, so up to his sleeves, with a selection here, and I'm just going to copy and paste the C ref for Vilmir here as a replacement for the C ref that made Drolenak's character. So I'm just going to submit that here. There's no other changes done to the prompt yet. I don't need to write back of the head or anything like that. We don't need to do that until we start expanding out. I like the Phantasma style reference being used there at Troll Free. Awesome. I threw candy at children, can't complain. Yeah, I love when you guys start riffing off the randoms crap I say. It's too much fun. Ooh, we got some fun character designs right off the bat here. I'm loving some of these villain characters and stuff too. Awesome. Okay, so I got to find the one that I did. Okay, cool. So we have it here. So you can see that we started getting something, but it's giving us more like a plaided shirt rather than a white shirt. Okay. So if I go back to the reference images here, it's all because it's in the pants. It's looking at those plaid pants, right? So this teaches us stuff, though. This is a kind of an issue where we go, actually, no, I appreciate knowing this because now I know that I need to change more of the prompt to kind of make it do what I want it to do. Because again, we're trying to get it to do it in parts as opposed to the whole thing. So I'm going to say League of Villains having a meeting. I'm going to change that to let's see here. And this is kind of the annoying thing for me is that I have everything shrunken down in a way that makes it there we go. I just need to shrink it even more. Got to make it even tinier. But now I'm just going to say white button up and leave it at that. And if it still doesn't give us what we're looking for, then we can start using negative prompts, or what's even better, isolate the character reference to just be the back of the head. That will help a ton here. And we're basically going to otherwise start finding parts of this image that we want to edit or change to our liking. Let's see here. It's all because it's in the pants. No, I don't like this image. Okay. All right. So we're still getting like the plaid sort of pants design here. So what I'm going to do is let's isolate that character reference really quick. We're going to use a program like Photoshop. You can use MS Paint. You can use any image manipulator that you want to do this. But I will be using MS Paint. I will not be using MS Paint today. Wow. Mouth garbage today. I'll be using Photoshop here. So let's go ahead and get that going here. New. And paste. And tablet. Okay. So let's see. I'll turn my head back on here so that you guys can still see me in here somewhere. Somewhere I'm in here. Yeah. All right. Never mind. It's fine. You guys can, you get, I'm supposed to be in the corner of the room, but it's all good. It's all good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crop this down to that one side of him. Like so. And then I'm going to copy this image and then bring us back over to Midjourney. Boom. And we will just paste this image into any Discord. Doesn't really matter as long as you get a public link, then that'll work. We're going to take that link and we are going to go back up to our prompt and just hit edit and swap out those CRFs again. And that should give us some major improvement on getting these character references to look the way we want them to. So let's go ahead and remove this character reference, paste this one, and let's just say men having meeting, white button up. I'll go in, I'll even describe it more. Back of shirt, white button up. And then I'll just hit submit on this one. And we'll see if we get some improvement on that. But we notice there's a little bit of a collar that I might have left over before. At least this part right here. So little teeny like edits are pretty important because you'll find that there's like especially like a lower here, like he's kind of leaning on a desk. Midjourney doesn't really understand what that is in terms of like the action being done here. Just it's looking for patterns of lines and stuff. So I'm just going to give it a little more area here and be a little more generous on this one too. So we got a couple of different iterations running. All right. It's all the same kind of plaited shirt, huh? But we definitely got better, I think, results by selecting larger area there. The dark green background of Lombard's reference images are bleeding a bit into his hair and clothing, making it a bit tricky to get an accurate representation. Maybe we need to get a full character sheet on a white background. Yeah, we probably do. So at least this is what happened when we selected a larger area. We described it a bit here of the men having meeting back of white shirt. That was the first time we got something that looked that would work for this. So let's go ahead and get this third one going. And then we'll build out a full character sheet. We are just kind of like speed running into using the character art like as a either one or a number of images as opposed to a full character sheet for Drolodac's character. But I'm just having fun with it today. So we're gonna go ahead and work with it for a bit, and then we'll see. Gives me some fancy curls though. Oh yeah, it definitely does. So what we're gonna do now is since we have the character at least somewhat established. It's a white shirt, plaited pants, and all that sort of stuff. Let's go back and grab the rest of the links here. And we are just going to keep going. So this is why I do it in parts, because I don't want to leave a lot up for Midjourney to guess with. I just want to be able to have at least as much control over the output as I can. And I do that just by doing it in chunks like this. So now that we are able to say, okay, yes, this is, I think I'm going to need a little bit of leg here, a little bit of knee or whatever. I'll just keep selecting more area that I want to change now that I have plenty of references to work with. So let's go ahead and grab those 3 links from the character portal. And there we go. And we will just do this one more time. This time we're going to focus on the head and the end of the legs in order to recreate this a bit more. And look at that. Wow. Okay. you can see that we have basically forced a profile view. There's still going to be some of the head that's there. We probably want to try to get at least as much of back of the head as we can without going into too much description. It's kind of like we walked in on a meeting, right? With like, especially this fourth result here kind of reminds me of like, oh yeah, we walked in a meeting and disrupted it, and everyone's looking at us now. You know what I mean? Like that's the feeling I get from this image here. We'll work off of this one for now, just to kind of get us going. But in terms of forcing the back of the head, there's a couple fun ways you can do that. We found out recently, Rhapsody and I, we were doing some prompting. I forgot who it was. It could have been, I don't know. It could have been really smart. Could have been going positive. Who knows? One of you guys used the prompt looking at the sunrise or looking at the sunset, and that did an amazing job forcing characters to look away from camera, because of just the mass amount of imagery involved. Is that Little Angry? Of course it's Little Angry. Yeah. Just the act of looking away from the camera. Almost all the images of like people looking at sunsets and stuff, they're not looking at camera, they're looking at the damn sun. So it's genius to incorporate that prompt. Good job. But we can, let's go ahead and try to get a little more, I would say, of the awkwardness out of this. There's some weird, funky stuff with the hand that's being done here. And he's actually has an elbow sleeve as opposed to a short top t-shirt like this. So I'm going to start selecting everything that I feel like is a little anatomically weird about this, and start to describe the character, start to describe the personality of this character here a bit. So I'll go ahead and say disgruntled man in a meeting with fellow demons. Let's just go with that. Disgruntled men. I'll just say disgruntled men in a meeting. And then we'll just go with that, you know. Alistair Jasper Randolph. Ooh, a female commander against a futuristic space background, interstellar galaxy, red-haired authority woman in background. Ooh, I love whenever we get a little bit of that vintage anime, just a little bit of it. And it doesn't become like a complete style wash, you know, but it looks great. I love this aesthetic you got going on here with this character. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the results here. You can see that we definitely still have this sort of like bunchy sort of white sleeve. Like the sleeves are just still wrong to me. So let me go ahead and select a little more area to work with. Let's go for that. Oh, there's a little bit of elbow here, I think. Okay. And let's say gesturing. Let's just say that he's gesturing to camera. Okay. You know what? I'm going to select a lot more of this area here just so we can see if we can enforce a little more, just a little more creative fluctuation here. I just want to have some more variation. So let's just select this area here and go from there. Well, I hope you guys are having a good day. While that's rendering here, I see Miss Nameless popping back up here too. Awesome. Good to see you, Snoopy. Let's see. Okay, it's already a lot better already. So, at least in terms of trying to get a better pose, I think it's better. Yeah, I'm gonna. He's not really gesturing to camera now, though. Yeah. It's okay. Oh my God, you already did it. Somebody already did it. They were way faster than I was on working this. Of course it's like troll for you. How did you do this so quickly? How did you best me this way? Nah. But yes, there's Vilmer, Lombard, and Victor. All just kind of hanging out at this meeting. And let's see. Oh yeah, I definitely saw your character at the top there, Metal Girl. We'll be going through her in a little bit. But I do want to finish this one really quick. I'm just going to pick one of my previous results. I think I'm just going to work off of that. Sometimes I'm not working as efficiently, or like at least picking the ones that I absolutely would want to use, just to kind of keep us moving here. But I think for the sake of this, I'm going to show you guys the preset, like how to do your slash prefers, and save a couple of these characters here. Particularly, we're going to start with Jolanak's character here. So we realized that the 3 links were pretty necessary to get the wings and stuff to recreate. And we also really need to hone in and make a proper character sheet for this character. But since we know we at least got something that works, let's go ahead and save the 3 links that we have as a preset. So let's see here. We have this one, and where's that last image here? There, this one. These 3 links here. What we're going to do is we're going to use slash prefer option set here. And then we are just going to write Jolanak's character's name, which is Lombard. Okay. Then we're going to hit the value. And then we copy the 3 links as the value. 1, and then 2, and then 3. Just make sure there are 3 unique links, or however many links you have, they're all unique and they all have spaces between them, and this should work. So whatever you name inside of your slash prefer is going to be the basically the handle, the shorthand for all those links now. So if I wanted to say, add I for some reason always by default go with dance party or something like that. But let's do pilot, like an airplane pilot, then hyphen cref, and then hyphen Lombard. Okay. Then what's going to happen is wherever it says hyphen Lombard is going to now be replaced by those links. So you could do entire prompts with this. I actually have a preset for tumbling up as well. That as soon as I write hyphen tumbling up, which is my comic series, it auto fills it with the style references and a character reference for my comics. So it's really easy for me to just instantly start manipulating and generating new images that actually works for me. And there you go. There he is. He's a pilot. He doesn't have his wings, but he's a pilot now. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to hop us back over to the chat and see what else, see what you guys have been talking about here. Boop. I troll for you said only in mine image the style is a little different for every character. Yeah, that's pretty common. That'll definitely happen. Those plaid paints are apparently a fungus that infects nearby a tire with plaid. yeah, I definitely am seeing that happen. The dark green background of Lombard's reference images are bleeding in a bit with his hair and his clothing. A bit tricky to actually accurately represent. Maybe we need to get a full character sheet. Yep. Yeah, and like I said, we should probably do that today, and focus on some of the core stuff that I know that a bunch of folks here have already seen, but I think it's a good time to get a refresher and start getting a completed, like a full character sheet of Lombard here, so that we get a little more consistency, less bleed of color and aesthetics. But you can see Reveille here is already going ham with this. I love where we're going with Jolanak here, Jolanak's character. So, oh yes, and please put me in some like early 90s like Pilot Wings TV show. That's great. But if I wanted to say like use one of the slash prefers that I already use quite frequently, that could be mine for Victor. So we'll do that here real quick. The thing is that inside of the editor here, slash prefers are currently broken. That's hopefully just a temporary thing, but you can use the prefer option sets inside of the main website now. So that's great. So you win some, you lose some, right? But let's go ahead and focus on getting Victor in there. And for me, the easiest way to do that is actually just to get your list up. So prefer option list. Okay. You hit enter on that. That actually gives you a full link to like a full list of everything that you've saved on your Midjourney account, links wise. So what we can do is we can now grab all of the ones for Victor here and just copy that. And I could have copied anyone else's here. There's plenty of them, but it's I didn't want to rely on you guys too much for that. So let's go ahead and find my image that I was working on. Here we go. Vary region. And now we're going to select everywhere where the Victor should be. And that outfit's not too bad for him, but I definitely want to fix these legs. I think the legs are definitely wonky in this one. And even like the back of the couch. Let's just focus on the head and the legs on this one. And then we will replace the character reference with all the links for Victor. And then I'll just hit submit on that because the prompt itself is fine. It's just replacing the character references will do 90% of the work. As Betty said, boop. I love Miss Nameless and her cattiness. I feel like Ancient and Miss Nameless would be a really fun duo to have, like Ancient's Catboy OC and Nameless just bouncing back and forth would be really fun. How did you best me this way? Yeah, indeed. How did you? How did you do? Okay. All right. So there you go. There's Victor hanging out with them now. And it's still kind of awkwardly standing there, right? Like he's not really doing a proper sit with him and stuff. But you'll also notice that the styles are starting to clash a lot. And that was mentioned earlier about this too. And this will happen because character referencing is so strong that it can break the aesthetic of the image pretty easily. So we have a couple options to fix this, but a really easy one is just to drop the character weight. Character weight's also how we did the Halloween costumes and stuff on the last stream. So we'll probably mess with a couple costumes here, but I'm going to just do --CW, which stands for character weight. And then I will drop that to, let's just say 50. So the default is 100. If you set the character weight to 0, it's only going to focus on the face and some details in the hair. Like really, it's super, super subjective in terms of interpreting your character art when you get to numbers as low as, I would say, anything 40 or below. Let's see here. Let's see what we get off of this. Oh, we're already getting some comics. Oh, I'm loving these. He's definitely more like a, talking to a dragon in that first one, but in the second one, he looks great. Oh, Miss Nameless got freaking buff.
You're looking like Lonnie Anderson.
Right? So I do have an issue with this here, which is, I believe, let's take a look at your style references that you're using here. All right, so we're using from the horror comics yesterday. Or 2 days ago now. Sorry. So this is something that can happen whenever we're kind of blending somewhat random images together, particularly the horror comic and my comics mixed together. It doesn't really know where to, like, what are the roles, I guess. So when it comes to referencing my comics, it gives us the nice hard borders, but then the color palettes are so wildly different. it'll definitely kind of give us a, like, for me, this isn't very clean. Like, look how kind of like blurry and messy this second panel is here. We can probably use the new retexture function to give us something a little better than this. But that is just something I've noticed. It's a lot better to work with like set styles, like the codes, the stylized codes. But when you find that right blend for you, you'll be very happy. And you can probably do it by using your own personalization code if you've ranked enough images for it. But I want to show you guys this here. So this is the result with character weight set to 50 instead of 100, and that is already so much better. I love this third result here. Because with these, it incorporates more of the world lighting and just the images inside of the like what the image that was the result of your prompt to kind of guide the result, as opposed to being super strict to your character reference. So there you go. I do like this result a lot. We definitely need to fix up Vilmir's arms here. And at least his butt is sitting somewhat in a better way here for Victor. I would probably have a prompt that's like, kicking up his leg on the couch or something like that to kind of finish off this image. But that's pretty cool. I like this one. I might mess with it more a little later. Did you just give me a bunch of guns? This is a result that has now disappeared of just Victor holding a bunch of guns. So that was fun. Okay. All right. So that was the, what is it? That was exploring how we do like crossovers with character referencing. It's a bit of a manual process, right? Like there's definitely like editing in chunks can be kind of laborious. So a lot of times I like to let Midjourney kind of do a lot of the work for me when it comes to this stuff. So as soon as we do have a reliable result with 3 characters in it, okay, or 2 characters in it, however many you're going to do, you could actually ask Midjourney to expand on those comics, to make them bigger, grander, or to continue them on. We're going to make a character sheet for Drolnak here in a sec, but I definitely want to show you guys this because if you have a result you like, you might want to see where the story goes with it, right? So, let's take the 3 panel that I got, or the three character shot of them at here. We're going to use the website now. Let me refresh this. Okay. So we have the result here. We have the website open here. We're going to use the new editor by hitting edit here. Well, we could copy the link to it and use the edit function that includes retexture. But I'm just going to do this inside of here for you guys. So we're going to hit edit or editor, and then I'm going to expand, imagining that this is the first panel of 4. So I'm going to go like this here. Okay. And I just want to make sure that the center line is beyond the image here so that it has enough room to add panel borders into this result. I'm going to take away my character reference to start, and we can always include them back later if we wanted to. But what I'm going to do now is get rid of character weight because we don't have character reference in here right now. And I'm going to write multiple comic panel depicting a villain meeting. I'm going to say a secret villain meeting. A secret villain meeting. And then I'm just going to hit submit. If I had style references, they would follow along those style references. If I had the character references, they tend to kind of dominate and take over these results. But let's take a look what happens when we just write multiple comic panels depicting a secret villain meeting. Okay. So right off the bat, Victor's taking control of this meeting for at least that first result here, leaning in, talking, all that kind of stuff. You can see that we're starting to get some poses and some structure here. Let's go ahead and copy this prompt and bring it to you guys inside of Discord. So don't think that just because I use the website that you guys won't be able to mess with this stuff. It's pretty easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to create here. And only thing I got to do is click on the more button here and then hit copy and then job ID. that represents these 4 images that are in this this row right here. So I'm just going to hop us back over to VC Create. And if you hop yourself into VC Create, you'll see that if I write /show and then paste the job ID, you will now have access to those prompts that I just made inside of the editor. So if we say we liked the first result here or the 4th result or whichever one you want to mess with, you'll notice that we basically have like the starting premise of like, you know, leaning in and talking between Victor and Vilmir here, because they're kind of like the foundations of these of a potential scene. So all that we got to do now is start in painting our corrections. All right. So if I come into here, we know that character weight of 50 worked well for Victor earlier. So let's go ahead and grab this guy's face a little bit. Get rid of the hands here. There's a little bit of awkward hand here. And go ahead and update his face. And let's go for this. Let's just get that updated here. Okay. And now I will write, because again, the prefer option sets currently do not work. You can find the character links for everyone that we're featuring here on my server. So we're just going to write Victor in the search here, and we'll find Victor, and there's Victor. So I'll now copy all of his links and paste them as a character reference. So --cref, and then paste that in there. And because you're using the new website, you won't have to use all these codes or anything. You can like drag and drop images. It's super, super neat what you can do on the website. But we're just going to go ahead and hit submit on this remix of this. And the very region here, that's right, I forgot. I have to set the character weight to 50 because we remember earlier it kind of looked like it was a bit photo bashed without that. So let's go ahead and select that, and we can compare the results between those two. I'm seeing some Phantasma stuff. I know you guys are eager to get back into the fantasy world. So, but look at that. So you can see that some folks here have just hit reroll on that result, and you can just keep infinitely generating comics of these villains meeting up and talking and stuff. Like, look at that first result. That's really cool. So let's see here. Okay. Now look at this. This should be with the character weight set to, this is set to default on this result. Pretty good. But with the character weight set to 50, it's about the same. I'm going to go with the default one. And I will say, I think it actually more matters for the top photo, like this one here. That's a little better on the first image for when he's farther away with the lower character weight, but we'll go ahead and use this one. I like one of these smiles here. I like the second one here. Yeah, I like this result too a lot. But this is really cool. You could definitely in-paint all these to work well with the characters. Whoa. I love seeing the multi-panels with Victor too. That's awesome. All right. So you can see here, yeah, he has a bit of a goofy face on this top result here. But I will go ahead and just redo that face. You know, like if you just don't like something, just redo it. Call it a day, right? Or if you do like it, call it a day and keep work on something else. But if it ever says, hey, what is it? There's not enough room for you to submit like it did just now. You know, like, oh, you need to select more room. There's a little bug you can take advantage of here. If you're just like, I really don't want to change anything else, you can just select the outer edge of the image here and just select that box right here. And that'll make it work. You could just kind of bug out Discord a little bit, and it'll force that through. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Let that render for a sec. See if we get a slightly less goofy version of Victor in the background there. I'm gonna go with that second one here, just to keep her moving. Okay, cool. And again, we just repeat this process with Vilmir or Drolenak's character, just to kind of be the characters that Victor is talking to here. Okay. I'm not going to go through that. Just you guys are welcome to. Feel free to keep editing and adding onto this comic, because as soon as you have Vilmer or Lombard here, then we just keep expanding. Okay, like that's what gets really exciting about this, is that you can take these comics and just keep making them bigger, and eventually you'll get a full length comic out of it. It's amazing. The only caveat that I have for you on this is just remember that every time that you expand out, the image actually gets smaller. There's a set number of pixels that a Midjourney image can be. So if you make if you expand an image really, really tall, then you're going to notice that you lose a lot of pixels on your width. It's just, there's a set number of pixels. So, let's see what you guys keep coming up with here. Let's go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put Lombard in there. Like, he just hopped over the couch and did that. So we can grab his links again here, and I'm just gonna prompt it really quick just so I can get it. Lombard. And you guys can see what the image blend looks like. Now, granted, we're working with Niji, so I would need to run this as Niji to see what we get for Lombard here. But we're going to probably make his character sheet next. That's what I'm thinking we should do next. But the default results with Lombard are pretty decent when it comes to understanding the character in terms of the wings and, the outfit. So let's go ahead and work with that. I'm going to hit Vary Region again. And we just need to select everything that doesn't match the character well. So if I kind of look back at this character. Okay. So pretty formal attire, green hair. Okay. So and does he have the sleeves, short sleeves? Yeah. Okay, cool. So this works just by selecting all the head here and just working off of that. We don't really need to change much else for this character, but we do need to incorporate the wings. So I'll also paint that area back here. Replace all of the character reference like that, and then hit submit. Yeah. Oh, wow. We have over 50 people here. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to hop us back over the text chat here so that we can all say hey and hi and hellos and all those kind of things.
Welcome.
Welcome. Feel free to stick around for a while, even if there's something that doesn't exactly suit your fancy right off the bat. I'm sure we'll touch something that will. Circula a la Caldrado. I probably butchered that with your name. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for joining. That's awesome. It's really great having all you guys here. It's certainly a pleasure to have like just everyone on the same page. We all just want to make things together. We all just want to make and tell stories together. So if that's something that interests you, please join my server. Kinky has it linked inside of VC Text just above the stage here. You can find it right here, VC Text, and you can join up, hang out with us, and we do an after party, by the way. So when the stream is done here, usually around 6:30 to 7, we will start an after party on my server where you guys can come up onto the stage and talk to us. And that happens on my server, not on the Midjourney server. But that way, we've had 24 people chatting away, talking about their projects and stuff like that before. So I hope to see you there as well. And it's just such a pleasure to have you guys all here. Thank you so much for joining. So from here, though, we can see that we've already I Troll For You is already going hard on the character sheets here, which is awesome. We'll probably have a good one to pick before I even have gotten started with that. But I definitely want to finish up my little edit here. So let's see. I'm going to go. Does he really have like bright green hair? Or is that just the world environment that's doing it? He kind of has green hair. Yeah, let's just go with that. I'm going to go with the first option here. Okay, cool. So if we were like, okay, this is neat, but I don't like how it cropped one of my images. I want to expand on it. I wanted to understand more of this character before I expand on it, then we can actually just compartmentally get it bigger, right? So we can actually just select this area here and just bring this up here, like something like this. And we want to keep the character reference for Jolonak's character. It might give Victor some of his qualities, but I'm going to submit this because ideally we essentially give Midjourney all like the formula for what we wanted to expand out to. Like what are the elements that we wanted to incorporate for our comic. As long as it's represented in the image, you can go so far with that. Okay, let's take a look at this. You can see, look, it already did it. It basically finished the top of the heads while cutting off the feet and whatnot, the stuff that we really didn't need, right? So that's awesome. But we will definitely need to bring back our character references to have Victor to have his spiky hair back. But it at the very least, it better completed the character art itself. So we definitely need some horns, I think, right? Nope. Oh, it's like little hair tuft horns. Okay. Let's go ahead and start expanding on this comic, but I want to get the character sheet done first, and I see that I Troll For You has been going hard with that, and the prompt they're using to do that is full body character turnaround, character concept man with green hair and red dragon wings, white background, multiple poses. There's a couple results that fall in line with this. I do like this this third result here, but the wings aren't right. Are you using character reference for that? Yeah, you are. Okay. So let's do this. I want one that has all the angles that we need, or at least most of them, so that when we expand on it, we are going to be able to say, hey, correct this panel, correct this pose, like that kind of thing. So let's see from these results. A little angry went to just going to Street Fighter. Is that Street Fighter? I forgot what that one was. But that's fun. Okay, let's do this one then. We're gonna work off our Troll For Yous here. So let's go for the third result here. And now we're going to inpaint the corrections first before we start telling it, hey, I want more poses and stuff. Have a good one, Celeste. It was good seeing you. Okay. Yeah, and like even like the fourth one here might work. But what I want to do, though, is I just like this result here because we have the little tufts that are represented on all angles that are here. So I'm going to hit, not very subtle, very region. And I'm going to now select what's wrong, which is the green wings and all that. He needs red wings. So I was saying bye to replying to Reveille. Oh, okay. All right. My bad. So I am going to try not to get rid of the tufts that are in the hair there, but they're probably going to go away. There. And this weird tail. Oh, yeah. We got to get rid of that weird thick tail. So I know the furry people are into like weird thick tails, and I don't really get it. I don't really want to get it. Okay. I just don't. Let's just go ahead and get rid of also the back of the head here, at least a little bit of it, because we need to have the wings represented. There's no wings on the back of this jacket, which will heavily confuse Midjourney. So I'm going to just submit this. And let's see if maybe there's another one that's been made. Ooh, this one's good. This one's good because it has the wings properly in the back of the jacket, but we need to fix the tail and all that stuff. Let's see what we get off of this one here. Okay. So you can see that it really wants to lean for those tail and the wings here. So let's go ahead and work off of, like, I usually ditch results pretty quick. Like I if you're really, really hardened on trying to get this image here to work specifically, what we need to do is we need to say, Like, and I'm just going to confirm the character art here. Yeah, red dragon wings demon. Just going from there. Remove the dragon part, probably. Yeah, for sure. The dragon is such a like strong prompt, but it's also like the real problem with the dragon. Like the concept of a dragon is that it's a fantasy creature. There's all sorts of different interpretations for fantasy creatures. I mean, there's like kind of like, I know there's specific names for different dragons, but like people have, whether it's culturally or through different like fantasy themings or tropes. Sometimes dragons aren't even serpent or not even like snake-like. There's all sorts of different dragons that are out there that easily confuse Midjourney in the intent of what you mean by a dragon.
You got your fur dragons and your feather dragons and your flesh dragons.
Exactly. I mean, there's just like, especially like whenever they start to incorporate kind of like the fae or fairy stuff, like suddenly they don't look like dragons anymore. They look like weird, I don't know, giraffe looking things. It's like some people's definition of a dragon can be very, very abstract. So it's understandable that Midjourney doesn't really have this like bona fide understanding of what you might mean when you speak about fantasy creatures. So just be aware of that. Okay. Cows with no legs are dragging udders around. Okay, Snoopy. Damn it, Snoopy. Getting me on the dumb puns. Okay. All right. So let's do this then. All right. So we're getting so much dragon influence on this one. I think I want to keep this second result here. Okay. And this is using a P code to a personalization code, which I'm probably going to end up getting rid of. But let's go ahead and like, this is already really close. It definitely now has demon horns though, which is a little bit what I was worried about. I didn't really want that to happen. So let's go ahead and like, the good thing is that we got rid of the back of the head, like the back of the shoulders being misrepresented, not having the wings in the right place. Let's go ahead and try to force the red wings by getting rid of the word dragon. And I'll even do a negative prompt on the word dragon. And we'll go from there. So let me first pull this up a little bit. Also, his ears are not pointy. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. That the little things like that, I will forget to notice. Little pointy ears, little details like that. Let's go ahead and fix that. Okay. There you go. And I'm going to say hyphen no, and then dragon. And then submit this. This stream is brought to you by coffee smoothies. I don't know how I would get through these without that, honestly. A smorfie? Yeah, it's a smorfie. Whoa. Okay. So we're getting really, really stuck on the the green wings here. You didn't know that was a cow? Oh yeah, for sure. There's a place here in town that's on the list. It's I'm not going to say the corporate name, but there's a big corporate place that sells smoothies. They have something called a Hulk, and this is what I drink every time I stream here, just because. Yeah, it helps. When you're trying to talk for so much or whatever, like having something cold that soothes your throat a bit is super essential. Okay, so let's do some manual corrections on this because I'm getting a little frustrated with this. And if you notice here, this second result has the wing kind of popping up behind his head. That's going to really wreck his silhouette here. We definitely don't want to use that. Because that'll be rough on us later if we allow something to break the silhouette of the hair like that. For now though, what I'm going to do is I'll up-res the fourth and the second result. I think the second result's probably better. Yeah, but it has that stupid hair issue. Yeah. Okay. let me go ahead and grab, let's just work off of a different one here. Cause what I was going to do with this one is I was going to bring it into Photoshop and then we were going to start photo manipulating that one. But I'm liking more the one where you already have the red wings in there. Oops. This one here. There's no pointed ears either, so Drillneck will be happy with that one. Let's go ahead and work with this one here, because I do like that. But now we need to make the character art match. And then I'll read all your alt comics. Make sure you up-res them, otherwise it's hard for me to read the text on there, okay? All right, so we have the character here. I want to check about the green shirt, though. Is he just kind of wearing a black... Yeah, black turtleneck. Okay. So I'm going to get Drillneck's opinion on this because he's kind of in a dark environment. He's at a bar for the other ones. What color turtleneck does he wear? Do you see him wearing a specific color or is he black? Okay, it is black. Okay. That makes this a lot easier then. So what I can do, I'm going to show you guys the new editor and what you can do with it because I've been expanding on other people's comics as well as my own with this method. But we could, because we have an option, we can just come in here and in paint and say black turtleneck and then get that, get that in there. But I want to show you what it's like to work with something more traditional, a workflow that might be more entertaining because we're using multiple programs here. But what I'm going to do is we don't even need to up-res it really. We could just copy the image. I'm going to go to tablet here. And I'm going to hit File New. Paste this. And now we are going to make this green top here. I'm just going to make a rough selection of it. We will probably have to fix it with where the hair invades in front of the turtleneck here in a sec. But I'm just going to make a rough selection of it here. Okay. I will duplicate that. I'm going to isolate to just that area here. And then let me go ahead and go to Image, Adjustment, Replace Color. And then I'll select the green. And now I'm just going to, oh, that's right. I need to switch over to because right now I'm on the mask of it, which is only black and white. It's like the area that I'm cutting out of this image. I want to make sure I'm selected on the actual layer by clicking the thumbnail here. Now we're going to go Image, Adjustment, Replace Color. Then we select the green. And we just start dropping that, the lightness of that until it's about black here. You'll notice that you have a little bit of bleed. We want to make sure that we either increase or decrease that to kind of match our needs here. I kind of like the green highlights though, because it like matches his hair a bit here. So let's go for that. Coffee smoothies? How, when, why? How has this been missing from my life? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, as long as you're not like the caffeine addict like me, you'll probably drink responsibly. But okay, I'm just gonna select this here. And it didn't really screw up the hair much at all, but we want to take a closer look at this. And look what it did with the line art here. We have all sorts of like hard pixel lines. You really do not want this in your results, like in your images that you're working with. It's just going to muck up a lot of stuff. It just doesn't look good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, adjust, replace color, increase the fuzziness, and then drop it. And then bring that fuzziness back until we do not see any more of those hard lines anymore. About there should do it. Looks like we have to go even fuzzier. It's more of a dark green. Let's go for more turquoise to get the color back just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go with that. A lot less of that pixel bleed that's on there. It just looks a lot better. But now you'll notice that the white is off. the white in the background. So what we need to do is we need to come into here, select everything that doesn't belong from that edit that we just did. So all the white that's here. And then we'll remove that from our mask by painting black over it. Okay. That's great. Let's just add white above that. So, okay. That works. That's pretty decent. I don't want true black. I don't want true black for the shirt because I can promise you already that true black is only going to make it look like a void or a shadow. So having not true black in there will help out a lot. So this is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and layer this down, like flatten this up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this as a PNG. I'll just put this anywhere. So, okay. Now what I'm going to do is hop us to the new edit function on the website. So we go to here. We're going to hit edit. I'll zoom in so it's a bit obvious for you guys. This button right here, we hit edit. And then we're going to edit uploaded image. This is the new function from the Midjourney site as of like last Wednesday, I believe. And it is so neat. It is amazing what you can do with this thing. We are just going to grab the image that we're working on here. Okay. And let's just pull the canvas up now. And we could even hop back to the prompt that was made by a troll for you here and just copy the actual prompt text. Okay. And then paste that into here. The only negative to this right now is that this new edit function doesn't have access to Niji. So we don't have access to any of the anime data sets or anything like that. I might lean on my personalization code to kind of push this with base Midjourney, but let's just say full body anime character to help us reinforce what we want. Because right now, without Niji, it's going to be any kind of cartoon character, really. And then I'm just going to hit submit on this. And we'll see what these initial results come out to. But being able to edit and make changes on your own stuff is huge, guys. Like, I cannot understate just how big of a change this is. For the fact that we are now able to say, hey, this one art piece I'm working on, let's change things up. Let's give it a different, let's change up this character's face just by highlighting it. A lot of stuff that Photoshop beta has been accelerating in. Midjourney just caught up with that, and it's amazing. It's awesome. But now let's take a look at the 4 results we got off of this edit here. So that's pretty cool. It's definitely very, very iterative to the original image. So we might need to start working with, let's try adding style raw in there. Okay. The new hotness is super awesome. I've been crazy busy all week and feel shame for not pushing it further. Oh, don't feel it's all there waiting for you. There's no rush. You'll find the time to get into it on your own. The retexture function it's hard to describe how useful that is until you have a use case that comes up where you definitely want to be able to retexture something. I'll show that off here in a minute. And you can see here that with style raw, we didn't really get our multiple angles or poses, right? So let's go ahead and really reduce this prompt down. I'm going to say multiple expressions, multiple poses. And we'll just go off of that, see what we get. Just really strip down this prompt to the core stuff that we want. That's a little better, but we're definitely not getting our full character sheet that we need here because these are not varied enough to be useful for what we're doing. So I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to go back to the original, which you can just click on this little icon here. And we are going to expand this out in other directions as well. Let's go for here, here. And let's say full body turnaround with a white background and multiple character poses as a separate part to that. Submit. And the thing is that once we have this, because we're not allowed to really edit it inside of Niji yet, unfortunately. Like that would be amazing if we could just say, all right, I want Niji, turn it on, that kind of thing. But by changing the canvas, I cannot state this any less. Aspect ratio heavily dictates the results of your images, guys. If you just by moving the aspect ratio around a little bit, or where the image sits inside of that aspect ratio, will heavily dictate the results. So like on character sheets, for example, it's quite common for a beauty shot of a character to be on the corner of the page, and then the full body takes up the rest of it with a pose chart or a facial chart to the usually on the top or to the side of the image. Taking into account of that stuff will really help when it comes to getting these results. This is already better because we do have a bit of a profile. But he has red eyes. So that's looking a lot better right off the bat because we can come in and start painting little changes and stuff to this here. Like for example, I can just come into here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And the pants are a little too light. So let's go ahead and just highlight over those. Okay. And now I am going to bring back the character references. Because I was trying to avoid using these three images because they are so dark, right? But we can do --cref and then just start pasting these images into there. Now, if you just paste a link, just know that it's going to, by default, say that it's an image weight. We're going to switch that to character by clicking on the little dude, like the little dude icon there. There. And paste. There you go. And now everywhere that feels a little off with this character, we are going to go ahead and just make sure we have it highlighted. It's pretty decent to me. Submit. Okay, yeah, look at that. So there we go. I think this is pretty decent here. We have the eyes now green. There's a little bit of face here. I mean, it's looking good. We definitely don't have the wings on these back over the shoulders though, which is unfortunate. But we definitely have like the jacket from multiple angles, right? So what I'm hoping for here is we can just expand out a little more here, and then hopefully we'll be able to grab like expressions on him. So let's just drag all the way up here. I'll bring this in a little bit. Why not? And then I'll say multiple facial expressions. Anime. Okay, yeah, let's do multiple anime expressions. Happy, sad, angry, upset, frustrated. Just start listing emotions. I'll submit it with the character reference at first, and then I'm going to do another version where I don't have any character references and submit that. And we'll see what that does. Okay, let's take a look at these. Most of these will not be perfect. I like that. We have to get rid of the wings in the back, but I like that. Like he's able to look forward and talk. Now let's take a look at the other 4. Oh wow, they're very random. So with the character references, this is how powerful character referencing is. You really should only use it sparingly. Look how much it like ignored my prompt entirely, and just tried to shove another version of Lombard in there as opposed to trying to remix what's already in the image here. So this is an example of where removing parameters is really useful. So I like this image a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and start removing the wings in the back here because they are not needed at this point. I can just use the mouse wheel, by the way, to quickly scroll through brush sizes. Super handy. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And then we want to imagine where the other facial poses are going to be, right? So let's just go ahead and box select this area here. And then submit. Okay, here's something funny. I'm going to zoom out so we can read this together. From Alistair. Okay, here's something funny. I'm trying to create a comic for Hazel where she looks out over the skyline and says, impossible. But it put the word impossible on her mechanic's uniform instead, and I'm rolling. Hold on, let me take a look. Everything's so tiny for me. Hold on. Wow, that's a really tiny image. I can see the word, though. That's funny. Okay. Let's take a look at these other expressions. Okay, so we have a nice profile with the hair covering and whatnot, but this one's a little weird. So let's just go ahead and select this. This is fine. This is a good result though, because we have the face and the chin and whatnot. Just remember that a character, when they talk, their chins move too, like how my little VTuber is doing now. Whenever he says something, his chin moves. So it's a really good idea that if you want a very loud expression, right? You want to make sure you select the jaw and any of the shadow that the jaw makes in order to allow Midjourney the freedom to make those expressions. But this should be good here. And then after all this is done, we'll try to get his horns back in. Okay. And then submit this edit. Let's see what we get for this. Okay. It's kind of the same expression, right? But I do like it more. I do like this one. Let's change the second expression here because there's a bit of weird stuff with the face and the hair here. So let's go ahead and change this expression. And we'll give it a specific direction. Let's say that he's furious. Furiously angry. Submit. Ideally, we want to depict the range of emotions that our characters have. If your character is two-dimensional and doesn't have any range, you just don't dictate anything but one or two emotions inside of your character. If your character is going to be an actor and have performance and range, then you're going to want to have happy, angry, sad, upset, like the whole list. You want to get as many different expressions as you can, and you can find lists of expressions online for you to use. All sorts of different facial charts and stuff. So let's see how much this dominates. So like we definitely did not get angry out of these results here. And we still got some schmutz on his face. So let's go ahead and go back to the edit here. Select the larger area. That. And then I'm going to say, just get rid of expressions that say furiously angry. And even the eyebrows will dictate the emotions. So like we want to make sure that we select these eyebrows too. And then hit submit. Then we'll take it from there. I'm keeping the eyes to give it proportion. Like we don't really need to necessarily, but it's definitely like if you notice how it's just changing here, it's always making him kind of like a cackly jackass smile on all of these. So let's actually give it a reference image of what we want an angry face to look like. So let's do anime angry face. Okay. And I noticed that a lot of them do have the blotted out white eyes. So let's go ahead and use this one. Copy image address. Go to the website. Go back to our edit here. And because of the white eyes, let's go ahead and just delete them. Let's just do what you suggested, Circulo, and let's get this going. But I'm going to paste that link, and I'm going to set it as an image reference, which is what it is by default, an image prompt. A style reference would just change how the aesthetics of the image are generated, while the character reference would look at this as a character and start incorporating that into it. So image reference makes the most sense when you're trying to replicate a composition. Okay. So let's just say like fiercely angry face, and then just submit that. And we'll see how well it's able to merge all these concepts together. All right, something went wrong. All right, so it looks like my link. Let's go ahead and copy this image instead of using a link. And then I'm going to paste that image. Okay, now let's hit submit. I don't think we'll get the same error if we just copy and paste the images. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right. And you can see his teeth are gnarled. Oh yeah, there you go. That's a little better. But he's kind of still smirking like a jackass. So let's just re-roll this one. We should never expect that we get the exact results that we want. We'll just re-roll this 2 times and see if we can get some variation on this. Just remember, I am not using Neji. I am not using that at this time because it's not available inside the new editor. But we can bypass that by using image references and style references, as well as your own like personalization codes. So let's see if any of these are. That's a little better. I like that one. Okay, I like the kind of smudgy face, or it's just kind of like the eyes are kind of shaded in like a shadow. I like that. Yeah, I like this one because it's just kind of more. You still have the kind of like gnarled teeth, which you're gonna get with my characters. I'm sorry, I like the gnarled teeth. But let's go ahead and work with this. I'm gonna change the scale one more time. And we are going to try to get these horns back in. So little hair horns. So I want to make sure I select where I think they should be. Somewhere like here, in here, and here. Victor gnarled teeth. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just going to kind of generally select the top of the hair on all these here. Okay. Okay. That should work. So let's get rid of this. And now we're going to pull up our image links again, because this is the closest thing we have to getting us the right results on this is the 3 images that were provided for this. So copy and paste and copy and paste. Now we got to set these to character reference, like so, and say pointy hair horns. Now, this is probably going to give us a lot of results that, like, I really should just say hair at this point, as opposed to pointy hair horns or whatever, because that's going to give us some really generic looking horns. But I'm going to do both. We'll see what comes out. Oh, wow. It kind of worked. Okay. That's just like straight demon. Let's see if we got it on the others here. Yeah, we even got it on these ones a little bit. So if I now select where they are not, so like here, we need to select more area here. Get rid of these ones. This here. I'm surprised this one worked, actually. So let's go ahead and select this here. Okay. Oh, you can use it in the editor, but not in retexture? Really? I didn't know that. Well, it learns something new every day, I guess. Thanks for letting me know. Let's take a look at these results, though. You could see, though, by referencing, by iteratively referencing things, it really helps. It really helps get us 4 results that could work. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, let's go for this one here. We only have some really minor corrections now to make. Yeah, let's go for that. Alrighty, almost done. The important thing is the horns are being represented at so many different angles now. That'll help out a lot for getting cleaner results, I think. We might need to reinforce the dragon wings again because this is so much focus on the facial expression, but yeah, this one's almost there. We just need to get rid of this one and this little tuft here. And let's get rid of that tuft here. There you go. Once this one's submitted, I think we'll have enough to work with. So what I have been using the retexture function for, by the way, is taking like results of the Sage comics that don't look like they have the right art style and then put my art style back in there. What is it? It's amazing what you can do with that. But let's first get rid of the hair horns here. Okay. This is good enough. I'll be able to edit the last one here. So, just to make let's go ahead and say upload to gallery. So upload to upscale to gallery. And now we have a character reference sheet for Lombard here. Okay. And next we go to create, and you can see that's being generated here. What I want to do, though, is I'm going to take this result, and I'm just going to edit this one little part here that was kind of fighting with me a little bit manually. And then we'll use that as the character reference moving forward. And we'll see if we have good enough consistency without any of the environmental light bleed or anything. Yeah, and we literally just got a notification that everyone now has access to the new editor. Everybody, like literally as I was talking here, everyone now has access to the new editor on your Midjourney accounts. So if you go to the website, midjourney.com, you will now have access to the editor, even if you have not made 10,000 images or whatever was the limiter that was there before. Yeah, it is for everybody.
The limit's still there. But you only get the notification if you have access.
All right. So let's go ahead and download this. And I'll save it to the desktop. And then I'll drag this into Photoshop here because I need to make a little edit. Just going to do a little bit of gen fill here because gen fill doesn't have the same data that Midjourney's like knowledge is based off of. So making little arbitrary fixes is sometimes easier with Photoshop off of Midjourney images because there's less bias in whatever was causing us to get stuck in places. We're going to get less of that here. It's going to look at more of the rest of the image and decide based off of that. There you go. See, it got rid of it. No problem. But I did notice that we do have some green bleed still in the hair, right? So I'm just going to live with that. I'm just going to say that that's part of the character for the time being, but you guys are welcome to fix that in the future. But what I'm going to do is now I'm going to select this whole image, paste it into VC Create. Yeah. Oh my God, there's so much stuff from you guys. I promise I'll go through it all. Okay. So now we're going to paste that image into here. And now we have a link. And now I should be able to reference it within Niji now. So let's say multiple comic panels and not give it any premise whatsoever. Multiple comic panels. And then cref, paste the new link into there. Niji 6. And I'm going to see what it does just off of that. Just off of this by default. I'm curious if it still sees the wings at all. I'm curious if it's able to understand how much of it this character it actually understands. Look at that. Wow. Awesome. Sweet. This is like we're getting some real badass territory here, I think. Okay, cool. I really like the kind of personable slice of life like kind of view of this room here. That's really cool, actually. I like this one a lot. So if we wanted to, we could easily fix those pants, edit those, change out the bottom left panel, and just have him, making a sandwich at home or something like that. So let's go ahead and now try to hone in a specific style for this. We are noticing that we do get general vibe of wings, right? But we might need to reinforce in the prompt a little bit. So multiple comic panels depicting a demon. Let's just go with a demon and see how much it changes the face, how much it changes the body form. We might not need to really describe it much more than that at all to evoke that we want big wings on the character. Put it on his head. Yeah. Definitely some edginess immediately because of demon as well. Does anyone have any prompt ideas how to make glossy hair with anime? I love flowing hair in my characters, especially shiny hair. Well, you probably, glossy hair. I mean, without describing glossy hair and you just get a bunch of shampoo ads, right? I mean, definitely with your character reference and your style reference, you'll be able to dictate that literally. I would say lots of highlights. If you want to do like hair full of highlights, it would help. Villain with wings. There you go. That's perfect. So, let's see here. Ooh, I like this. I like these. It's like going gambling. Okay. So, let's go ahead and work off of, whoa, this is a massive prompt. Nice. Let's go ahead and I like the with wings. I think wings works. He has wings. We'll just say he has wings. It's going to be a bunch of chicken wings, isn't it? Who put a burger on him? Fractal Bob. Why? Welcome to Burger King. Okay. Okay, so we've lost a lot of the multiple comic panels with the wings. Like the wings of the prompt have dominated this, but it does give us consistently that the character has wings. Like I do like some of these results, right? So let's force it to work. Let's force it to give us a specific art style. Plenty of folks will use stylization codes that they have found or have made. You can use prefers as well. I like him flying here, by the way, like this, like, or he's like just kind of like zooming away. That's awesome. And you'll see people using them. It's sref, and then you'll see a bunch of numbers afterward. I think it's more powerful to use an image. People love specific codes though, so go ham with those. But anyone uses here, if you like how it looks and you notice they put a code on there, just copy and paste it and use it on your own stuff and give it a try. But let's try to take like let's say like a Van Helsing comic. And we'll look at different graphic novels really quick. So like if we wanted to go for something like this, okay, more of a classic Americana style comic, let's copy the address to this one. What is this little character? I like the, it's going past this. Nice. But let's go ahead and apply a style reference to one of these results here. I like this one here. So let's go reroll this. Let's go with wings. Okay. And then I'm going to put sref and then paste that link. They have a personalization code attached to that. I'm going to remove it for now, just to show you what I'm kind of going here. And then let's describe what we want. Multiple comic panels depicting man with wings. And then you want to give some direction, some intent, some purpose here. Bartering for a new sword. Sure. Just something. And then we'll hit submit on this. The style reference is just under character reference in terms of how influential it is on the results. Character reference is crazy powerful that we might want to drop the character reference in order to get more results that give us more dynamic character actions and things like that. More panels, more interesting interactions of those panels, so on and so forth. But look at what we got here now. We have the character at multiple angles arguing with like a dragon or demon in the background for the most part. Let's go for this first result here. And you'll notice how consistent between the four results the art style is, and that's the power of style reference. So if I wanted to more go along the lines of having like let's go ahead and drop the character weight a little bit in order to see if we get more variety beyond just him standing there. I want to see who he's talking to. I want to see the environment that he's in. We'll see if we're able to bypass both the character weight and the style weight to dictate a room or an environment. Yeah, and see, it got rid of his wings almost entirely as soon as we removed the style weight on there. As soon as we set the style weight to 50. So, but at least we have an environment in some of these. We have some sort of room that he's in. But again, if we get so much closer to like the generic anime stuff, I'm going to bring that back up to 80. Oh yeah, it'll definitely be more accurate if we did panel by panel. But for the sake of letting Midjourney kind of have some creative overflow or oversight with this, Lux, I love your bug people. Oh, it's reminding me of Spy versus Spy. That is awesome. So, okay, so what we have here is definitely a lot more confrontational, a lot more of an environment that we can like take advantage of in here. So like, let's do this fourth one here. And again, that was just by playing around with one parameter. We're working with style weight here, or sorry, character weight. And so we have this, winged guy, making argument here. And now we can very easily just bring this into the editor, expand out again, start getting multiple comics of this. So I'll just show that really quick here. Reload this. Enjoy the new editor, guys. For most of y'all, you might not have the reviews necessary to have access to it before, but now you do. So have fun retexturing your images and such. I'll show that off here in a minute too, but I want to show the multiple panels here really quick. So let's just expand out here arbitrarily, and let's say multiple comic panels. Let's see, villain buying a new sword. Sure, just something. Get rid of the character weight because we're going to be getting rid of that, and as well as the image reference or the style reference. And then we just submit that and we see how well it expands out. And you can tell I'm giving very loose direction right now. You can go as far as you want, but without like a set premise in my head, I usually like to explore Midjourney. I like to just kind of look around, see what sort of stuff it's able to give me with either my existing images or maybe including a different character, that kind of thing. I'm usually kind of shopping around when it comes to the Midjourney, if that makes sense. So buying a new sword turned out to just be he's now holding a sword. Okay, so we need to give it like it's a badass sword. Don't get me wrong, it looks great, but what I want to do here is actually come back here, edit, and then let's make this a little wider. Say, let's actually grab a full comic to reference the paneling of it. So we did Van Helsing. Okay, so let's do Van Helsing full page. Okay, now we have this full page from Van Helsing. I'll copy the link to that. I will paste that link, and then we will use that as a style reference. And I'm just going to say multiple comic panels. I'm not even going to give it a premise. I'm curious what it gives us. Even if I go really, really tall with it, like something like this, it needs to make sense though to the image. So let's go for something like that to like that. And we'll see what we get off of that too. Yeah, and this is going to be very derivative to Van Helsing right now. Very, very derivative to that. So I wrote comic panels. Damn it. Okay, hold on. So I'll come back here to the editor. Instead of I'll write multiple comic panels, and then because we're seeing so much derivativeness from the Van Helsing comic, we're going to hit -SW instead of character weight. So instead of CW, we use SW, and we're going to set that to only 50. It's another one that can go high up in numbers to 1,000, I believe, up to 1,000. So if we drop that weight really low, we allow for much more variation from Midjourney's like brain. Basically, the knowledge center of Midjourney has much more influence on the results rather than the style weight or the style reference. So we'll take a look at how this one came out. He's like standing on next to a cauldron here. That's pretty cool. So if we wanted to have like a speech back and forth, we can actually start to incorporate like a back of the head here. So like if I do on my server, let's say now Victor doesn't have one. We can do one with Sage. Oops. There you go. Sage. And I would just reference her back of the head, which I have right here. And this is going to be a harsh style change, guys. So I will need to be very, very loose with the character weight on this one. So let's hit editor, expand this out. And then I will set this as a character reference. And then I will set the CW to something really low, like 10. Okay. And then I'm going to say multiple comment panels depicting 2 people in confrontation. Just something. And you can see that that her artwork is super clashy, but it does still work. It makes it work. As long as your character weights are low and your style weights are low, you can let Midjourney kind of fill a lot of gaps for you. Okay, so now that we have these two, I can run the editor again and expand out this way. And let's go ahead and get rid of these little panels that are here, just so that we can get a little more. Let's see here. Okay, multiple comic panels depicting 2 people in confrontation. And I'm going to get rid of the character weight for Sage now. There you go. And then we'll hit submit. Oh, thanks for coming by, Celeste. I really appreciate that.
Bye, Celeste.
Okay. So by expanding out, keeping the style reference in there with a low weight, we got this. It turned Sage into a badass goth chick.
Ow.
Okay. Yes, I think this works here. So I'm going to copy this over for you guys. Let's just go ahead and actually expand this one more time. We'll go out this way, and we'll say we'll just hit submit. I'm just curious where this goes. Let's find out. And then I'm going to run the new retexture function on one of my comics so that you guys can see that in action. Yeah, I like it with her coming out with the sword like that. That's pretty fun. So there you go. Yeah, in terms of expanding on comics, there's a lot of potential you can do with just using the style, knowing how to use style references and character references. Okay, I'll go ahead and copy this result here. Let's see, which one was it? This one here. I'll go ahead and send this to you guys so that you guys can have it. Mess with it as you want inside of VC Create. And now I'm going to go through everything you guys have made really quick. Kinky, do you mind doing some announcements while I sip on this smoothie here? And we'll scroll through some of the stuff you guys have made.
Absolutely. I was here waiting for that very thing. Guys, are you going to be around this weekend? Because if you are, we got a little something different for you. Not really. It's going to be prompt battles, but every battle is different all on its own. And I hope you come to play with us. We're doing 2 days. Yes, 2 days of prompt battling. That's going to be Saturday and Sunday. And I will put the links in the chat for you to see. I hope that you guys come and join us. You don't have to stay for 2 days. You don't have to stay for 1 day. You could save for 15 minutes and still get a game in if you wanted to. We are all very, very friendly. A lot of the people that will be there are here in this very room right now. Can you believe it? It's gonna be a great time. You can win fast hours for playing and for participating and a whole host of things. I really would love to see you there for a little while. You know, if you're feeling shy, you don't have to talk on the microphone. You can text and somebody will read it for you. A lot of people do that exclusively. I am the voice of the people who like to talk in text. Prompt Battles is open. Do you have to sign up? You do not have to sign up. You do have to join the poll unit, but that's it takes 3 seconds and you can do it on the spot. It's not an ahead of time thing. You signed it 3 times insistently. Yes. And I hope that you guys all come by and you can win stupid points. And those are not useless because Snoopy is he's a highly valuable beagle. If I don't see you this weekend, I hope I see you at some other event on the server, which you can find here in the Midjourney calendar on Luma. I will also put that in the chat for you. /lou.ma/Midjourney. Yes, that's right. That's https ://lou.ma/Midjourney. I hope to see you all there, and I will shut my mic off now so Victor can come back.
Oh, well, thank you for that, Kinky. I really appreciate that. I hope you guys do join. It's always fun. Yay, Kinky. Everyone. Yay, Kinky. Yay. I've been looking at what you guys have been making, though, and I'm seeing some really fun stuff. I really like these Western insect people, guys, like the insectoid gunslinger. That is an amazing idea, Lex. I want to see you expand on that too. It's just such a rad aesthetic, you know. Also, we need more bug people. We need more bug people back in stories and stuff. I like that. Just like the idea of insectoid people. That's pretty fun. And there's no way that I'm going to catch up with everybody's prompts here, but Golden Pasta, this character is so cute. I really like it with the fantasy aesthetic too. It really works. And classic AI, too many fingers on this result, but it is fun. Oh, to be clear, that was a remix mashup. Liquid Mind was the original. Trolley upscaled it, then me. Oh, I wish we had a full list of names, right? All the history, right? She still needs a name. Oh, we need to name this girl. Okay. So I'm going to look into more of the insectoid people. If you have access to the original prompt, I would love to see the foundations of it. Glad you enjoyed my little bug character, Vic. I mainly go to the inspiration from Rango. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Rango's a great movie. I love Rango. Let's see here. There's a fun way we can actually search for this, by the way. So if I search by mentions user, right? And then search for Liquid Science 05. That will get us all the results that have him mentioned, which is the Midjourney results, right? So I can go back. Okay, so there's all your insect people. Nice. Okay, so this was multiple comp pandas Western style. Okay, so this was the first result that they gave. I love it. Sweet. Okay, awesome. So this is what I'm going to do, okay? Inside of our server, I have a Western Nexus, okay? Right here. I'm going to hide these. Inside the Western Nexus, we have a story that Rhapsody's writing called Beneath the Open Sky, which involves her character Rio. And you can just start reading that comic if you want to right now. She's doing a really fun job with that one. But what we're going to do is we are going to scroll up to the top here. And in fact, I have it right here. We can grab the style reference for this. Okay. This has this is based off of Sin City. Okay. But we wanted to make a Western version of it with at least a little bit of a unique flair to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to re-roll your first prompt, and then I'm going to add -- sref, and then add the Sinful West style that we have crafted. I'm curious what this does with your bug characters, particularly. I'm curious if we're able to kind of incorporate them into the existing stuff that we got going on. Yes. So we probably want to put a little more emphasis on the style here, but I love the teeth. I love the attitude of these guys. You know what I mean? Like I love that. But let's go ahead and grab another one from yours. So liquid. Let's grab this one here. I like this sort of aesthetic here. So let's re-roll this one. And then sref, paste Sinful West. And we might want to pick a new color palette for Sinful West if we incorporate the bug people. All right. That is pretty cool. That's so much better. Okay. I troll for you immediately doing it better too. So let's go for yeah, these are all pretty rad. I love how lanky these insect characters. I can't stop imagining. You can't stop. No one can. They can't make you stop. What did you do differently than I did? Did you just lower the character weight? Or is the fact that there's no style to it? Probably that. But yeah.
How dare you best him like that?
How dare you? How dare you outperform me? Of all people. Let's see.
The student has become the master.
Yes. Definitely I troll for you knocks me out on my feet sometimes with some of his results. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here exactly. So let's see your style reference and your character reference. Okay, style reference is that. Oh, okay, all right. So let's go for this one then, and I am going to say with speech bubble that reads, and then I'm not going to put anything in the text. Okay, so let's try to get these bug people to speak for us. Yeah, I'm going to bring up that character weight again. It is muddling their face a lot. So, oh wait, no, it's not even my prompt. Hold on a second. Where's mine? There it is. Okay. So let's have him actually say something in the speech bubble then. Put him up, partner. It's important that whenever you're doing speech bubbles inside of your Midjourney prompts is that you say speech bubble that reads, not because sometimes when you say with the speech bubble that says, when you say the word that says, I've noticed that that at least this might be placebo, guys. This might be placebo, but it oftentimes looks like they're more mouthing the words as opposed to actually like it being written inside of the prompt. So, or inside the result. So, by saying that reads, you're saying it has to read those words, at least much more likely to do that. So at least for me, that's what I'm getting. The bug people, they speak for us. You guys make me laugh more with these damn comic prompts than anything else. Okay. Oh, the text is so small on these. Wow. Okay. So I would definitely say that we would need to lean farther away from the style weight. Why is it when I click the redo button in the picture output, I'm not getting the pop-up? Okay, yes. So this is actually something I should have mentioned earlier. Okay. So what you want to do is Circulo is you want to type /settings. Okay. And then you're going to turn on remix mode right here. Remix mode is what lets you get remixes of whatever prompts you're re-rolling or doing variations on. It lets you edit the prompt to lean it in a different direction than it would have had on its own. What is it? Remix mode is pretty essential for doing the more iterative side of things, where you just kind of want to tweak the results until you get somewhere that you like. And on the website, it actually splits those into two different functions. So it says very subtle and strong, and then remix subtle and strong. So there's two separate, buttons or sets of buttons for that. Sweet. All right. So that says, speech bubble, that says, there you go. I just use speech bubble text as it guarantees text. As I understand, text is a replacement more than adding text to the image. It finds something that looks close to text, then morphs it into text you specify. So if you prompt for text or specify something that's should be written to include text, that replacement then has something obvious to target. This is why sometimes when it's not specific, text appears in a random, weird, or out of the way area as it struggles to find a place to put the text. Yeah, for sure. It's a lot easier, honestly, to get results and then throw speech bubbles in there, right? So like, for example, on this result here, okay? So let's do vary region on this one. I'm going to put a big speech bubble right here and then just say, deleting everything and say speech bubble that reads, put them up, partner. I don't like how daddy long legs his arms are in this one, but we'll go with that. We'll go with it for now. Put him up, partner. The mountain's telling you that. Don't make the bug people sexy, okay? You don't have to do that. Not everything needs to be sexy, okay? No, you don't have to upload. You don't have to upres that either. Okay. All right. Point stands. All right. Put them up, partner. There you go. It's a bug. You can't tangle with it. There you go, right? Put them up, partner. There you go. So that's how you could do very quick speech bubbles inside of your results. Super, super rad to do that just on existing images. Okay. You could even use that with the new editor, right? And just upload like existing images of your face or whatever, and then just highlight an area and say, well, there's a speech bubble here now. At least for this sort of confrontation, we could grab from the Western Nexus. Let's see here. We have a couple different characters that have been submitted to the Western Nexus already. In fact, Drolnack's Piper is Piper's Western cousin, Briar. Let's do Briar, okay? So I'm going to copy this and use this as a character reference. Does anyone know what format I should export my character creation to turn them into stickers? Oh, you got to look at like Redbubble or another website that gives you like presets, like what they need in order to do that. You can literally just say, give me a sticker of this character and it'll work too. They give you a little outline and everything. But I'm going to select this character here. And we are going to bring this up into the editor. Going to hit edit here. And I'm going to actually get rid of like this entire top panel here because I'm just not a fan of how bright that is. Okay. Now I'm going to say, what is it? Western shootout, confrontation, fight. Sure. And then we're going to write multiple panels depicting. Yep, that should work. And then --cref, paste the link. And I'm going to set the character weight really low because I want there to be a bunch of fluctuation on this. And then we're going to hit submit. I probably need to grab the style reference again for the Western Nexus, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how this first one goes. And then after we get this done, I think I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the retexture function and some of the fun I've been having with it anyway. We do need to name Gompasta's character that we had earlier that I'm sure we can find really quick.
You're not going to name it Radish like I suggested?
Radish. I'm down for that. I do kind of like Radish.
No, please, you don't have to do that.
No, it is fine. I do like the name.
I like to name people things that are things like ostrich and, well, a thing that's an animal. Pencil. It's really funny. I don't know why it makes me laugh so hard, but it really does. What's your name? Fork. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That gets me every time.
Oh, I'm laughing at like one of these. It says I don't like bugs. Right? Was the speech bubble on here? I'm laughing at this because the first thing I read was I don't do bugs. Like I don't do drugs. Like I don't do bugs. Was the first thing I read. I'm like, oh god. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Let's check out our result that we got. Okay, so using that as a character reference, you can see here it's rather derivative to. This is why I tend to recommend not including a character reference, just because it does dominate the result quite heavily. But I do like this one a lot. I do like this image particularly, even though it's not of our character that we've selected. I do love this result though, and we have a little bit of a side of the face here. So I'm going to expand on this a little bit and not include the character weight anymore. And I'm going to see if it finishes the side of her face and her shoulders and stuff here. Maybe a little bit of her hat. I'm curious if it will. Bugster McFly. Kinky just being an NB Alley.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it did it. All right. So you can see we have some hips here, like she's about to grab her gun, right? But she's way too high up for this image here. We have a nice full body of her here, but I like this one because we see her hair, right? And we see a bit of her chest. I think this is better for like eyeline, right? That they're like looking at each other and stuff. I definitely want to get rid of this side panel that's here. Just get rid of all that. Now, sometimes Midjourney will kind of blur or kind of roughen the edges of images. So sometimes you need to actually go in and select the edges of these to get these to expand properly. But I'm going to try to make this continued all the way down to here. Let's now say depicting a Western shootout. Yeah, it's fine. This should be fine. We'll submit this. then cool. All right. So it kind of continued the other panels except for this one here. So that's pretty neat, but we definitely want to have more of the bug person show up here. So let's go ahead and grab their character reference. Go back to our edit here. And then I'll include the reference. And then we'll say, yeah, we'll just submit this as is, and then kind of go from there. The more we change the prompt, the more likely that we're going to, get something that kind of drives in a different direction. But I want to just see what we get off of just including one parameter at a time. I do see that we have a couple new faces here. Welcome. Nice to see you guys. And seeing as we are close to the 6:30 mark, I just want to let you guys know first off that what is it? My name is Victor Gnarly. I am a former visual effects artist for Cartoon Network and made things for did a bunch of cleanup work for shows like Robot Chicken, Moral Oral, and some others. So really do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and making stuff with me today. I'll be here every Friday at 4, and you can just hang out and make stuff. If you got suggestions, our server has been linked inside of VC Text, and we are prompting inside of VC Create. So you can find that very easily by going to your Discord and then selecting on Midjourney, and inside of there you'll see VC Text and VC Create. So it's a very fun way to make things together. I hope you guys have had fun working with me today, making Western bug people. I really like these bug people. It's so much fun. Oh my God. Yeah, these look great. So like, in terms of like using style references, using character references, that's really what I want to see you guys messing with more. But I want to see what we got off of telling Midjourney, hey, I just want more comics in a Western shootout sort of style. So he pointed his arm backwards, he's got multiple appendages that could just pull out guns. I love the idea of like the Rango style, like if a character has 6 or 8 legs or 6 or 8 arms, right? That each one of them has a gun, right? I think that was the bit in Rango. But okay, yes. So there we go. We got a profile of them, and also like a gnarly kind of close up, like a dark close up of him. Okay, let's go for that. Yeah, I like this one a lot. So the thing is, I want to make sure this continues as a comic panel back here. So let's say here, we'll go like this. Okay. And then we'll say, we'll just add to the prompt and say profile of blonde in black Western hat. And then submit. I'm just adding on to the prompt for this one, and I'm going to remove the character reference because we are not referencing the bug guy anymore. The bug guy demands having a character reference. That's for sure. What is it? The weird tentacle like sort of beard face, whatever. We might want to like adjust a little bit, but I think it's pretty rad. So you can see here, we're not really getting the profile of her, right? We're just getting her kind of close up a little bit. So let's do this. Let's force a composition into here. At least try to. So I need to make sure this is selected. You don't want to make sure there's any little edgy bits or anything left there. So we'll make sure this is all selected. I'm going to go for a profile Western shootout on Google. And we can literally just grab some, like, this is a great resource to get quick over the shoulders and other compositions, right? But I'm going to actually grab this guy here and let's do copy image or copy image link. I mean, I'm loving this. Oh, I'm loving this Gome Pasta. Oh, that's so good. Now I'll go back to the website here. I'm going to paste that image and I'm going to use it as an image prompt. I'm going to hit IW, and that stands for image weight. So we've used character weight, we've used style weight, and now we're going to use image weight, which is the original image prompting weight. And we're going to set that to 2.2 so that it's rather derivative of the image. And then keep the prompt, because we definitely got the girl in it based on the words alone. I'm hoping that with the image weight, we can kind of guide this result a bit more. Would basic compositions like over the shoulder image work well with the retexture feature? The retexture feature is really going to be more about taking an existing composition and saying, hey, I want this done in my style or this style or whatever. It's really fun to use your personalization codes on your actual images. Like if you take some photos of like your house and stuff and say, hey, style this to look like, I don't know, like a Dennis the Menace comic. It'll do it. It'll do a really good job at it too. So we'll mess around with that a little bit here. So look here, as using it as an image weight with a high image weight, it just made it all wood because it's seeing all the wood in the background from this image here. Okay, let's get a more clear, obvious person here. I want to do a profile. Yeah, let's just grab this old man here. Okay. And now I'm going to replace this image. Oops, I have to go back to this result here. There we go. Go back to this image, delete this, paste this into there, and then I'll submit this again. If we need to, I'll just say cowboy white background to match the backgrounds. And then we will grab this this derpy looking guy. Sorry to dog on this random guy. It's so derpy. And then delete this, replace this with a white background character, and then submit that. Okay, this one couldn't fetch the image. Okay, so that one failed. That's okay. But I think the white background one's going to work better anyway because we're working with a character with a white background. Oh, God, it's going to extend the legs, isn't it? Damn it. Okay. All right, this is an easy fix. It's going to be funny because I could just have to write cowboy shot for this to fix. We want a profile. There we go. That's what I want. I just want to, like, we could do something a little more dramatic than this, but I think this is going to work fine. Now we'll grab, because what happened here was it added the real life legs to the Pokemon by using a high image weight like this. So let's go ahead and bring this back in the Niji actually too. So we'll come into here. Where is that result? There it is. Editor. And paste the image here. And I'm going to, okay, we're still running under Niji. Okay, that's good. Let's just submit this. Okay, I'm definitely dudding out here, guys. I have gotten a close-up of a gun now, a realistic gun, which is not what I wanted, but we have now an empty white space. I'm going to take advantage of this empty white space now that we have a clean border up here, and I'm going to select everything here, assuming that he's like a little taller than her, right? This should work. Okay, and now I'm actually going to go back to one of our previous results that we have, and use that as a character reference. We'll just get this out of the way. Grab this image, copy image, and I am going to hop myself over to Photoshop just to grab the top portion of this image, pasting that into VC Create. Oh, more bug people. Yes. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, now we have this link here. I am going to now use this as a character reference. So no image weight, but we will add a, let's set it to 80. So we get a little bit of flexibility on the character, but not too much. Okay, profile shot featuring a blonde in a black Western hat. Oh. But, oh, okay, I have to switch this to character weight. Whoops. Submit.
people listing items for free when they are not and getting upset. If you are selling a things on...
That's real creepy. Kinky. That cat talking.
I really like to make cats complain about things. Like, so I just find Reddit posts that, like, I find Reddit posts about cats, about people complaining about random things, and have the cat do it.
That's great. All right, we're going to let this one render now with the character weight set to 80. We're using our previously generated version of a close-up of her to dictate the character reference. So we'll see how this works. Well, while that's going, because it seems like it's going to take a minute here, I'm going to grab actually something pretty fun. I just went for a snack. What did I miss? Me struggling to get a profile image of a girl to show up on here. But we're getting a little closer, but we keep getting these like really close, like strong close-ups, right? And I'm not really getting the 2-shot that I want down here. So let's force a proper side by side of 2 people and use that as the image prompt instead. So for example, I can grab this dude here. I'll bring myself to the tablet here. This is going to be kind of funny, but this is how I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to paste this image here, and then I'm going to extend the canvas, and then I'm going to paste it again and then flip it around. Okay, so now we have 2 people kind of staring at each other like this. Okay, make that one image. Then I'm going to use this as an image weight for this result. So paste this, get the link for this image, go into the editor, hit edit, and then select all this area here again. Okay. And then paste that new link, and we'll set this as an image weight, but we'll set the image weight pretty high. So let's do 2.2 again. Again, 3 is the max, but I'm just going to go with 2.2 and then hit submit. So we're using a character weight and an image weight at the same time. See if we're able to get them to be kind of staring at each other eye to eye here. I'm getting a little sick of these close-ups. And we could probably do a negative weight on close-up as well. We'll see what we get. Looks like we might just get a bunch of blanks. Oof. Yeah. Not getting what I wanted of these guys. Let's see here. What can I do? I'm going to max out the image weight to 3. And let's get rid of the character reference. And then submit that. I know a good name. Nameless. Okay. I'm sorry, Snoopy, but that is that's good. That's a good one. Thanks for making me laugh. I really appreciate that, Compasta. Nameless. Okay, all right. So this actually gets us what we want. Look at this. Okay, this is nuts. We got to zoom in here for you guys. So by using that image weight of the 2 mirrored people, look what it did. It mirrored the bug people twice, okay? Which is actually good, and I'll explain why. So we want to pick the one that like gives us the most silhouette because we don't want to necessarily replicate the outfit, right? But I want to put her in here, right? So if I now grab this image reference we have of her, and we take advantage of the fact that Midjourney has given us a body to work on top of, we can basically start to influence this result with her rather than the bug guy. Okay. So let's go for something like this. I'll include. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah, we'll just do something like this. Maybe a little less because she's going to be a little bit shorter, I think. Okay. And now I'll submit this as a character weight, and we don't need this anymore. Now we can just submit this. Am I a conspiracy theorist if I say I also been struggling far more than usual today with getting what I'm prompting for? No. There's always stuff that happens internally that we don't really know about, like the day by day on it, right? But I will say that just some things are harder than others, right? Like it could just be tough to get that right. Opposite for me, things have just been getting easier. Yeah. Lucky you.
Yeah, on the model level, there are no changes that aren't announced.
Oh, they aren't? No, really? Nothing?
Yeah.
No minor tweaks? No minor adjustments?
Those things are tested beforehand and then actually announced when they happen.
Okay, all right. My bad. Didn't mean to put out misinformation. Just curious if we can get her to be in there at all at this point. Only a little bit of hair. That's all I'm getting. Yeah, this is a bit of a dud for me, guys. I'm sorry. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and post this inside of VC Create for you all. You could leave the gun. Yeah, I could leave the gun. I could leave the gun and try just her head and stuff here and see if that works. Okay. At this point, I definitely are you picking Radish as the name for that girl? Going Pasta? The recommendation from Kinky?
Please don't.
Yeah, it's not giving me what I want, guys. I would need to find an image prompt of I believe of a blonde girl with profile about what we're aiming for. I think that's what it's going to take to do this. But so this is what I'll do for now, though. I'm going to copy this prompt, put this inside of VC Create. Then you guys will have it. You can go nuts with it. Let's see here. Just going to up-res this first one for you guys. There you go. I want to see what you guys have been up to. Oh, no. Spoken, what are you doing? Why am I a smoky furry man with no nose? I do like this, though. Any of these like kind of abandoned town prompts that you guys have been making are looking really great. Abandoned Western town. Oh, you do, why don't you need to do the Zoom 0.10 trick? I'm curious why you say that. Are things being saved in your account now when you up-res them? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can just use the links now. That's right. Yeah, you can just use the links. External editor. That's right. So let's actually take one of these. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to take this result of Gom Pasta's character here. Okay. I'm going to grab a link to it. And then I'm going to go use the new editor. Let's zoom in here. I'm going to edit with URL and then hit submit. Okay. So we've been messing around with this a lot. lately, just because there's a lot of like new things you can do with the editor. I'm going to try to rescale this for you guys because I haven't really set this up for this particularly. If you zoom in and it actually does that at the image, that's cool. Plus control minus and plus. But I will need to change my panel borders a little bit so that I get these options here on the left that pop up, as well as my history. So I think actually I'm going to drag this down to my desktop here. I'm going to end up disappearing here for a second, but I'll still be here. I promise I'm still here. I just want to bring this down to here so that you guys can see this.
No, my object permanence.
No. Let's go ahead and mess around with the new retexture function here inside of Midjourney, which now you guys all have access to, which is awesome. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually grab some of the Sage comics as a style reference and as a character reference so that you guys can see what this does. Inside of, and I'll just pull this up so you guys can see, inside my server, I have something called the Sage and Michael Office CREFs or SREFs. You can use these 4 links as a style reference to convert images using the retexture function. So this is a real picture that I took. The message only went out to those eligible. It's still the same requirements. Oh, okay. Okay. My bad. I'm too trusting, I guess, these days. But what I want to show you guys though, is that if we take this real life photo that I have of Detroit that I took, I applied the Sage comics to it and it gave me this, which is basically one to one in line with everything that I got going on with the Sage comics, which is awesome. It would just take a minor edit to fix some of these vertical window lines that are here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the editor here, and I am going to come into here and then let's just paste the style references. If you notice, it shows up just like any other thing that we'd be prompting with. We have 4 different style references. We are going to then let's just describe it as a fantasy comic. We don't even have to write fantasy necessarily. I've been working with just the word comic and it's been going great. I'm going to submit this as is. Okay. But I will also include Sage Office. Oops. I need to actually get those images. Hold on a second. Just a second. I got to grab those links. For Sage here. I have 2 reference images that represent Sage right now. And what I can do inside of here is just do hyphen cref and then paste her in there as well. And then hit submit on that. The first 4 results that we got off of that basically completely redid this image from Gompasta to preserve the same composition, but now it follows the rules of the Sage, the Tumbling Up comic for me. So I like this result a lot, and we got a nice person in the background too with the reeds. That's pretty cool. But now, if I included Sage as a character reference, here's where it blows my mind. We now have Sage replacing Gompasta's character inside of this. Like, look at that. Like, that's just nuts to me. And for any part that doesn't, because it's going to be very literal. It's going to be very literal with how it understands the composition of these results. What I do at this point is I then bring this into edit mode, and it lets us keep the retexture just as is in the panel. It's so neat that you can do it this way. But I can now just select everything that doesn't match Sage. Okay. So like just a little bit of the hair here. It's really not too much that I need to change. And then I hit submit again with this edit. And because now it has the character reference for Sage, it's amazing. We can literally like body swap characters so quickly with the retexture function. It's nuts. I've been doing this a lot with, in fact, I Troll For You sent me about 24 comics that he made using Laura like a Flux Laura. So not Midjourney. And then I was using Midjourney to make them look like Midjourney images. Like, it was amazing. Basically converting these comics to be to be like how my own are. And look at this. Look at it. Just fixed her hair. It fixed everything that I needed to do to make that work. Isn't that amazing? That we could just do that now? Oh, it's so cool. I love being able to come into here and just, now that we have this set here, I can just come into here, zoom out here. And because she's wearing like a tie and all this kind of stuff, there's a very good chance that she's going to be in a business suit as soon as I do this. So fantasy comic. So let's just say multiple panels to a fantasy comic, of a fantasy comic. And I'm going to submit this for now. But what I expect to do is to hyphen CW and then drag that down to like low number, like 20. So we'll submit that too. But then I'm also going to submit one where I do not include her reference at all. I might need to reference a woman or her or something related to the composition. But it is certainly true that whenever you use the character weight on its own, look how much it dominates that result. Like, that's just straight up back to Sage in her business suit. Lower character weight. It has a little bit of influence from it, but not much. But if we don't include any of that, we get a full-fledged comic with Sage as Gompasta's like almost like rogue character. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to let's select this one. Like, I don't know why she's trying to touch her own eyeball. That's so uncomfortable. Let me just get that started here. Like, let's see why she's going to touch her own eyeball.
I don't know why you're not trying to touch your own eyeball, honestly. I mean, I've been wondering all day.
As someone that used to wear contacts all the time, it's amazing how much it makes other people squirm to watch putting on my contacts. Like, I remember.
I know.
And I just wanted, like, it's so neat to be able to do this with the new editor, guys. Like, just to be able to quickly adapt existing compositions and then use them with your own character art. It's so freaking cool. Let's see how well this little remix did here. Not remix, sorry. This little bit of in painting here. Oops. I've noticed this too, by the way, Ancient. If you scroll while using this, it'll scroll individual images, but then it scrolls also on the bar here, right? So like you see how it jumps down on me every time I go down to the next image, even though it's just going to the one to the right. That's been throwing me off a little bit. Okay, that works. And if we want to say like index fingers or anything just to finish that off, that's it. Okay. All right. Cool. Let me just copy this for you guys because I do think this is a pretty neat result, especially for a side-by-side of like using Gompasta's result and then, and then converting it to Sage. This is super, super neat. So I will go ahead and upload that to my gallery and then send that to you guys. All right. I'll hop back over to VC Create real quick while we're doing that. I managed to jump out of VC Create on both of my pages here. So let's jump back here. Okay. Why am I smoking furry man with with no nose? Why? Why? I ask you why. I like any of these kind of like anime poses where he's like holding the head or showing you the eye, like eyes through the hands and stuff is always so funny to me. Like, I always kind of imagine what scenario would I actually be doing that? You know what I mean? Outside of like I'm in an anime high school thing. Like this is pretty cool. I like the double one. You don't really see this pose a ton, but I like it. She looks shell shocked. Go pasta. She's seen some shit. That's what I get from her eyes here. I do like this though. It's the chromatic aberration. I mean, like the 2 eye color is a bit silly, but I do like everything else about this. It's pretty rad. Big ears. Touching his own eyeballs though. That's why, because you're touching your own eyeball. Okay, I see. Oh, the 3D version of her looks pretty cool. This is actually the kind of result, by the way, that I tend to be avoiding when I'm doing ranking. And the reason why I avoid things like this is because this is kind of like Pixar or 3D rendering. Like the lighting is very 3D. If you want this look, you have to decide that look. That is going to simply be the decision that you make, and you want to stick with that decision, because you won't get this sort of highlighting or color from anything other than a 3D render. Okay, so if you suddenly incorporate 2D animated like cell looking art, like what we oftentimes do here, this will clash significantly with that. So if you make that decision, you're going to use something like this as a style reference for the entire project. Is what I would recommend. Like even if you come into here and select one of these results, like the bedroom here, right? A really, really, really easy way to make reliable style references that won't constantly lean you in one direction or another in terms of like the biases in the image is actually just to remove the character. Okay. So like if I come into here and we're kind of depicting a living room here, right? So like if I come into here, select this, I'll even select the little guy here because those eyes are definitely going to make some funny results. I'll come into here and then I will remove everything except for the style reference and say living room, just something that describes the space. And when I was first writing a tutorial that was called Movie Machine, I called them aesthetic plates when we were using them as image weights. They were just an image that you included with your character art when you're doing image blends to effectively, how can I say, to effectively dictate some of the rules of the art. But it was so derivative because we were talking about, months, if not a year ago now, of changes since then. But in general, that aesthetic plate would later come to more importance with style referencing. So we do have a style reference, a code for this image here, which is probably giving us a bunch of kind of Pixar-y sort of 3D results. But I want to show you how you make your own. And that's this. We're going to basically select one of these results. I like the third one here. Okay. And you could always make minor corrections, but it's not really looking at it too literally. It's going to look at it in a much more subjective way. So let's go ahead with sref and then paste our image here, that of the living room that we just had here. I also have Sage. So let's just do a cref of Sage and see her in this style. Sage office. And then I'm going to, let's drop her character weight really low because I don't want the character references to have a lot of influence on this. I want to have it mostly be the style reference. And then I'm going to say businesswoman, just to give us a generic prompt to start with on here. And let's do them both standard and also in Niji. And we'll just compare the two results of using this style reference. Yeah, thank you for the linking that, Kinky. It is an old tutorial now. It goes back to V4. So it has a lot of fundamentals to filmmaking that are in there that will be very useful, especially if you want to learn how to use After Effects. But it is certainly true that you are going to, you're going to see some outdated information inside of that tutorial, though. Okay, look at this. Okay,
I feel like the real thing is the real truth is that you've been giving us so much more value since that's been written in person. So like it doesn't really.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of work, honestly, to even that tutorial took me like because I was making stuff along with it. I was bug testing my own workflow, and it still wasn't perfect, but by the end of it, I felt like I could give some real value to people, and I'm glad other people.
Oh yeah. And like the fundamentals is still there. You know what I mean? Like I have read it more than once since you've made it, and I would read it again.
Awesome. Well, thank you. But look at this. All right. So now we have Sage in the style of that, like kind of Pixar-y sort of 3D style, but it has a little bit of influence from the character reference still, but it's there. Like that is far more rendered like a 3D thing than just 2D. And it's even more so when we look at the other options, the ones that stray farther away from Sage. So there you go. With Niji is the base model that she's designed off of, so it's always going to look more like her with Niji. But the fact that we could get base Midjourney to look like this reliably is huge. And if you use just this image of a style reference, you're going to get a pretty consistent amount of blonde women showing up in your prompts. So that's why I recommended making one of these blank aesthetic plates like this, just something without a character in it, so that it learns all the rules of the lighting of the room and all that kind of stuff. That helps a ton. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it is 7:00 here. So I want to first say thank you so much for joining for the stream here. We do have an after party that I'll be hosting over on my server. Rhapsody is sick today, so she won't be stepping in for the after party, but I hope to see you guys there. Thank you for liking the little announcement there, Going Pasta. You can join the server, hop on the stage, say hey, get to know us, get to know what we're doing. I'm excited to have you on board to share your projects, and I'm happy to help you get things done. But otherwise, thank you so much, Kinky and Ancient, for co-hosting here. But yeah, thank you guys. All right, you'll have a good night.